Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Massive results yesterday in the VCT around the world. Yay and Bleed Esports finally getting their first victory of the season on the board. But in the Americas, things getting very interesting indeed. Group Omega are terrible based on the numbers, as are right now the Brazilian teams. Cloud9 taking down Lev just the other day, now taking down Loud. What does this mean for qualification in Group B or Group Omega in terms of getting through to the playoffs? Sentinels get a very clean victory as well. Lots else going on around the world. Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. We've got to dive into it, baby, because we talked about the series in yesterday's video, and as it was trending onwards, and I think it was maybe 4-2 when I was recording yesterday's video to DFM, then it was 7-5 to Bleed at the half, and then I was watching the second half, and it was just, it was just so bad. Like, Bleed lost every round, and I was like, this series is over. But to be fair to the guys on Bleed, they did manage to find a way to actually take the game too. And yay, on the Rays, it's been a question for me whether Ye should have, committed to Rays, because if they really want to make it work, there might have to be a decision made at some point to not put Ye on the Rays and run the Jet or run the Chamber or something else. But to be fair, the way they played, it didn't seem like Ye was necessarily always the first man in here. Duryon was doing a bit of the dirty work. One of the other big dramas, though, of the series actually was the casting quality here, and I'm not going to lie, I did listen to a couple of rounds and had to just throw it on mute. I wasn't having a particularly good time. I don't really, know so many of the cast in that region. And look, I certainly wouldn't have said anything like this. But this is from Mervin, so founder of Bleed, who tweeted this out. The casting quality for our game today was beyond subpar, poking fun at our players with constant sarcasm. If these casters are even getting, like, he could have left it there, which maybe would have been a fair statement, given, if you guys listen to it, I'm not going to comment on otherwise. But then he goes on to say, if these casters are even getting paid, they should be the first to go in the layoffs. So basically saying, like, fire these guys, they've got to go. So, yeah, I don't think it was the best. Bleed were kind of getting roasted the whole time by the casters. And, yeah, it was an interesting one for sure. But this tweet was therefore since deleted by the founder of Bleed, because he probably thought, right, maybe I shouldn't have said that second part. But I thought the first part was maybe fair enough. But in the end, can you believe it? Ye actually win the series. It's been a very long time. I guess this is meant to be 430 days, isn't it? Which is, yeah, that's kind of wild. But finally they did it 2-1 against Detonation Gaming. And it's not like DFM are absolutely terrible now, but, they finally came to play. So Ye on the split tier with the Rays, had a solid map, and then on the Ascent he was back on the Jet. Did a great job here to win the Ascent 13-4. So the Lotus was, honestly, I want to say fair play to Bleed for regaining, because if I was Bleed, winning the first half 7-5, winning the pistol, converting the pistol on the Lotus on their pick, and then losing 8 straight to lose the map, I'd be thinking, we're never going to win a series to save our life. But to be fair, they actually did. And there were some big plays on both sides to do so. So fair play. Bleed get on the board. Are they great? No. But it's nice to see that Ye at least finally got a W right. And hopefully this is the start of something for these guys. But yeah, we finally have a green box to look at based on all the red over the last couple of seasons of the teams that he's been on. Global Esports, though, they got a 2-0 dub just about now over RRQ. Fair play. Global Esports actually played well in this one. Polvi, we talked about Polvi and criticised him a fair bit, right? Because he came in here and was meant to be a really solid, standout duelist player for these guys, and it wasn't really the case until about now. So, big series victory for them. Difficult to call a lot of what's going on in this region at the moment, right? I'll just look at the Pacific real quick to see these groups, because, it was the case early on, and it still is the case, really, that Group Omega is looking pretty strong compared to Group Alpha in this region. Not the case in the Americas, but, yeah, Global Esports now 1-3. So, solid start for them. Detonation with the loss to Bleed, they're looking tough. And maybe, to be fair, maybe for Bleed, because their group is so relatively weak, if they can put together a couple of wins, and it's going to be hard, because Bleed still play Paper X, they still play DRX. So, yeah, probably they had any chance. But you never know. If they can somehow upset those couple of teams, then they could still make it to the playoffs, Bleed, potentially, although it is rather unlikely. Let's talk about the Americas, though, because there's been a lot happening here lately. Sentinels get the very clean victory against MRBR. Lots of reaction as well to it, because I know that Tend was joking about playing the Clove. He was on the Omen, as you might have expected. And Kaplan said after the fact that he was really happy with the way that they approached this series, Sentinels. They brought the energy, Gen.G brought the energy, and they were a very different team to the one that lost to Lev the other day. And that's something how And that sometimes is how it has to go, right? You have to lose a series to recognize, okay, we didn't play our best that day. How do we have to play better going forwards? And yeah, they really decided just to punish MIBR here. And this series was just not even competitive. They lost, I think, 10 rounds over the 2 maps they played in the series and a very clean at 2-0. So yeah, pretty funny here from Zelsis post-match tweet. And I'll share a couple of clips in this in a second for you guys. But a clean 2-0 versus MIBR. And yeah, not even close. 13-3, I think it was on the Lotus. And then 13-7 on the bind on MIBR's map pick. So MIBR still not looking great. I didn't expect them to be perfectly honest. But the entire Brazilian region right now is in a very interesting position, especially based on the Loud result. Because even if Furia and MIBR are kind of bad, you tended to be able to rely on Loud to be a top contender at the top of the league. But right now, that is difficult to say.
They can feel it, they can taste it. One more round will make the difference.
What? That's actually bullshit.
Ooh.
Is it mollied?
Wait,
must be.
as far as he wins this.
Another tap, second.
I think he wins this.
Wait, Feroz is being a fucking rat right now.
He's made himself noticed, surely. Evacuation.
GG running up.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, they didn't have a fucking chance, guys.
They actually didn't. They didn't have a chance.
But they got the job done.
Like, you know what? Sometimes it gets a little interesting. At no point did I feel my heart flutter in any way.
I mean, look at this take. The teamwork from Bleed on
Oh my
point
god.
right now.
Oh my god.
Machine as they head on over
Oh
to B.
my god.
Pretty soon they're gonna see that it's all clear. Spike gets
Oh
planted. All they have to worry
my
about is
god, chat.
defender spawn and market.
Today, Yoi
Spawn.
is no longer.
Perfect mechanical skill.
From this day forward, he shall be known as Yay. Again.
There is no Bleed will be able to pile drive through the site. They do not care what you're gonna try.
Oh my god.
Neth tries to stay tucked away, tries to find.
Oh
moving
my
shot.
god, what a
Looking to get
trade.
the first, but then instantly traded by Yang. The rest of the team have made their way onto the site.
He's not gonna
Now
get.
here comes May with the showstopper, looking to do out even more damage. Goes into clear B. May
Oh
the
my
corner's
god.
Not yet found.
Wait.
Okay. Good little
Oh,
heads up duel against
shit.
Retla. Player still on site though. Darren watching out defender spawn, trying to check onto lane. Zest now. A bit of a delayed response, and it's something that
Oh
GG.
my god. Oh my god.
Finally taking their first win at VCT Pacific Stage 1.
They finally got it done.
Oh, today Yoi has become Yay again.
Predicts them. DFM falling short tonight.
Oh,
Bleed
thank
finally
you.
get on the board here at
I can
VCT.
rest
They
easy.
won.
Very nicely done.
Sam.
13-4, I guess, on that last map. I was
Sam,
gonna
there's
say
no
13-3,
more Yoi.
but there was that one.
So here comes another absolutely generational Platchat curse where, you know, they pick Loud to win the series, and probably justifiably so. But Cloud9 have been good so far, somewhat underrated, and also you've got to wonder whether it's a bit of a similar trend this year to last year. They make their roster change, Cloud9, which was a controversial change last year for sure, when of course they got rid of Yay, and all of a sudden they start making moves. Oxy comes in this year. What a player this guy is. I mean, that looked pretty rough for those other guys' POVs. Oxy gets the 4th, and they close out with the ace as well. This is against Loud. I mean, this is a team that's going to be so good, and what a player Oxy is, man. But this Cloud9 roster, they make these changes. They bring in Moose, of course. They bring in Rooney to the roster, and all of a sudden, it's looking pretty good. Vanity, I know that he wasn't so happy with his in-game leading, or at least he was not happy with his individual performances, but his in-game leading seems to have been perfectly fine. And yeah, as FNS says, like, C9 actually looking pretty damn good in the regular season. So this was the overall result. 2-1 over Loud. And Loud, after getting slammed by NRG in their first series, in short, there were some caveats there because they just arrived back from Belfast or wherever they were to get their visas redone. They just turned up, no sleep, jet lag, no practice, all this stuff. But they did get, you know, pretty much beaten up by NRG. But you'd have thought, okay, couple of weeks of practice, playing Cloud9, a series you got to bounce back in. But Cloud9, they beat Lev not long ago, and now they've taken down Loud in a pretty comfortable fashion. Like, sure, Loud won the bind on their map pick. But then Icebox map that's been so good really for Loud historically. Okay, that famous series they went up 11-3, whatever it was, on Fnatic, and then lost it at the lock-in event last year in front of the home crowd. That was tough, but still a map that they're confident enough to pick. But Oxy and Rooney, they took over this one, and then Lotus again was very competitive until the second half, where Cloud9 took over on the defensive side and closed out the series. And this time it was Zephyr turning up. So great to see that Cloud9, because when this team was formed, I was looking at it thinking, well, you know, Oxy's a real talent here, but I wasn't sure if there were really the pieces on the rest of the team that could deliver the consistent results. Now we're seeing Rooney, Zephyr, even Moose and Vanity play well this series as well, step up, and I think Loud, arguably they are missing some firepower here. Like, the loss of Aspas was always going to be a bit of a problem, and even Cloud9 were good enough to beat Lev with Aspas, but, you know, Lev is kind of Aspas and Inshallah, right? Like, they don't have many other strategies apart from just Aspas go kill, and if Loud had Aspas still, you got to wonder whether this would be a different situation. But the big question really comes down to what's going on with these groups, because SEN are now 2-1, and you'd think 2-1 would be good enough for a top seed. But no, they are 2-1 and still 4th seed right now, because Cloud9 have extended their lead to 3-0, NRG are at 2-0, and they've already beaten Loud. So, you know, they've got some room to even work up higher than that. Crew, I'm not sure I expect this 2-0 start to remain, but Group A is stacked. And Group B, I mean, what are they? 2-10 total series count. 100T and Lev, only teams with a victory. The Brazilian scene in general is 0-6 right now in terms of series count. It ain't pretty. And this is the start of the Super Week. So this is the big games these week that really determine what's going to be happening here. Crew EG, NRG Lev is a big series. Cloud9 100T. SEN, I'm pretty confident will get the victories that they need, especially because, you know, they've only lost to Lev and they still play Loud and they play the other Brazilian teams that they should beat in addition to Evil Geniuses. And, you know, right now you'd favour them to beat Loud as well. But arguably, you're going to end up looking at this Group A and it's going to be very much stacked with teams that have done really well. And there might be some, you know, Loud, despite the fact they're not playing good VALORANT right now, their round count is absolutely terrible. They're still third because of the differential compared to the other guys that have been getting slammed even worse, such as MIBR. So Loud haven't even won a series yet, and yet they're still in position to qualify for the playoffs. Sentinels have 2 wins and they're not right now. So, yeah, crazy stuff, to be honest. Does call into question some of the format discussions. But, yeah, as Vanity says, no, it's just a regular season game and I don't deserve to be in franchising is all I heard the last 6 months. So, a massive win. Great to see for Cloud9, and we'll see if they can trend that going forward as well. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.